We're live.
We are live, and I am alive. Are you alive?
I'm alive.
Well, hello, Cece. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I
I'm
am
so
doing pretty good.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm doing pretty good too. Our my guest for tonight is being a little delayed because she's loading Chrome down. So what I'll do is just introduce myself for right now. Of course, I'm Reverend Janet Reynolds, and we are on Insight with Blue Feather. And then we say, well, who is Blue Feather? Well, Blue Feather is my guide, and he is the one that gives me all the information. I am a certified spirit medium, or we could say a psychic intuitive counselor. I see symbols, hear words, go by my feelings. And while we are waiting for Amy to come on tonight, where if that's possible, Cece and I are going to discuss our passions. But what I would like to say is if anybody has a question, they can please call me at 813-814-1601. And then definitely to let everybody know that www.bluefeather.net is my homepage. And you can go out there and find out quite a bit of information about me. And I have been around for a long time.
Yeah, and she does. And you know what? This is a real bonus for you guys. So if you're listening and you'd like to find out a little bit more about your path, call her or make a comment. We take comments right here, and you can ask a question, and she can give you a little reading here real quick. So
Yes.
So if you want to give her a call and talk to her over the phone, you can. It's 813-814-1601, and she'll give you a little reading. Let's see.
All right, girl.
I think this is our guest.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it got a little bit too intense for you. Okay, Cece and I are going to talk a little bit, and then what we're going to do is you and I will work it out so that you can do it the next time. How's that? Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we do have a question.
Yes. Okay. So we'll work it out. Okay. You're welcome. Bye bye. Now, Cece, I'm sorry, everyone. Mercury is in Mercury's in retrograde. Do you know what that means?
That means we're have crazy stuff happening.
Well, let me tell you something. It means I can't hear you. You're going to have to go out and come back in.
You know what? I think it's something with your phone. It cuts off.
I can't hear you.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys, if you can hear me, hang on tight. I'm going to pop out, pop back in. But we have a question here. What happens if you can't find the joy that your passion used to bring you? So we're going to talk about that when I come right back. So hold on just a minute. I'm popping out and I'm going to pop back in.
Cece. Oh, she's going to come back in. Okay. Sounds like a plan. As soon as she gets here, I'm sure. I love it.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Something with your phone. Oh, see, they can hear me. You just couldn't hear me.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't hear nothing. All I could do was see your mouth move.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Let's talk about this question. What happens if you can't find the joy that your passion used to bring you?
That's a good question. Is that Mo asking that question?
That is Mo answer.
Well, Mo, I'm very glad to see you. I'm very glad to see your question. I don't see you. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is what happens if you can't find the joy that your passion used to bring you? Well, I feel that if that be the case, you're not happy with what you're doing, and then that means that you should change what you're doing, probably, maybe, or look at it a little bit differently, what you're doing. Does that answer that question? What do you think, Cece?
Well, I think that sometimes we we do something in life that gives us a lot of passion. We find that it excites us when we start doing it, but then something shifts, right? Something shifts in our lives, and it creates a change that maybe what we once thought was our passion and was making us very happy, it's not. We're finding that maybe it's work now, and so sometimes I think when that happens, I think we have to reevaluate as to why we thought it was our passion. Why did we what did we do at the beginning that brought us joy, and maybe what is happening now that is creating that shift?
I really believe what you just said was the magic words. What is creating now? What's going on with us now? I really believe, I really do, Cece, believe that because of so many changes, it's making people sit back and wonder, is this what I really should be doing? Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. And I think that what we thought made us happy before, because okay, here's a reality. We are not who we are, right? Who we are this very minute. We will not be the same person tomorrow, because things evolve, things change, things come into our lives. And so we can't expect everything to stay the same and how we feel everything to be the same. But with saying that, if something truly is what we thought is our that gives us joy, we have to evaluate as to why it gives us joy. Oh, I think she's able to come on. And so I took her name off. So so I think that we just have to evaluate what was giving us joy before. And can we either reconstruct that, or do we need to shift our way of thinking a little bit? Maybe embrace something else. Like, for instance, I can just share with you, I had a gentleman on today on one of the shows, and he's a very huge public speaker. I mean, excellent gentleman. I mean, love him dearly. John Davis, he was just a delight to have on. But his passion is speaking, right? Well, now because of COVID, we can't do these big speaking engagements anymore. So his passion is having to shift. And so now he's had to embrace Zoom meetings, different things like that on the internet. Where he thought he would never be is where he is today. And he's loving it, because it's created something totally different for him. He thought that being on the internet, being on Zoom, all of that was going to be impersonal. But what he realized now is that he is in the living room or in the kitchens or in their offices of people that he's speaking with versus in a great big impersonal room, right? So
Right.
he's finding that he's created a shift in his mindset, and he's now shifted his joy and his passion in doing what he loved, and he's shifting it into something else. So it's kind of a very cool experience. And
It's also a very challenging thing. It's a hard thing to do. Let me say it that way, just so that I make sense in what I'm trying to say. Because even for myself, the fact that I don't have personal contact, the fact that all of the meetups that I used to go to, the fact that I used to teach up at the villages, there's just so much that I used to do, and it all stopped. So
mhm.
what I had to do was sit down and think, what do I have to do to change this so that I don't lose my passion?
Mhm.
I didn't want to lose my passion, and I did do one of my classes, my dream class, on Zoom the other night at the Life Enrichment Center, which is with Maureen Murphy, and God love her heart. We were able to do my PowerPoint and everything, but I'm so used to walking around, talking it and everything with different people and asking questions. It was so totally different for me to be just sitting there. So I'm going to have to change some of the way that I do things, but at least I know now that I can do my shows on Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Janet, I call that embracing life, right? because life
Yes.
is never shifting around us. And especially now with COVID, we're doing things a lot different. So we can either sit back and say, oh gosh, I don't do it this way, and my world is upset, or we can say, you know what, I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to focus on what is really truly important to me, and be able to move forward in my life. And you know what, sometimes we're very surprised, because when we take that shift, when we make that shift into moving into something else, we actually find sometimes that that is really a blessing in disguise, you know, because
Well,
we learned something new. Look at you, you're on the radio.
yeah. Oh, God love your heart. Yes. Yes. But we've
Yeah.
been doing this for so long, and then it stopped, and now you got me doing it again. Yes. And I love it. I really do. But you know, the one thing that I had to do, or that I did, is because I wasn't working in any shops, and you know, all the stores were closed down for 3 months, and because I was here at home too much, and yes, I do get repeated business and phone calls, and I do a lot by the phone and everything, so that part was good. But I actually sat down and I emailed different stores that I knew that psychics could be there, and because of that, I was able and see it was meant. I got a response back from 1 out of 10, and that was at the Bodhi tree. And I've been working at the Bodhi tree since May of last year, and that gets me out of the house 3 days a week. That's all I want, is 3 days a week to work somewhere else. And then it's almost a year I've been there. We're
Oh,
into
that's perfect.
February. Yeah, we're February, March, April, May. It'll be a year. And I have been able to build the business up that way.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
The thing is with you, Janet, and because I know you, were good friends. We've been friends for a long time now. I know you can do your work anywhere. You can
yes,
do your work on the phone. You can pick up a phone and talk to somebody, and you can get the feeling. You can get everything as if they're right in front of you. I
yeah,
know you can do the same thing on Zoom. So your work, the beauty of your work is that it's all within you and Blue Feather, right? And so
right.
you can still work anywhere, and so that's a blessing to be able to do that. And you have such a passion for what you do. You love what you do. And you know, I think when I was thinking about Mo's question, you know, so often if we do the same thing over and over again, it kind of gets maybe mundane with us, and we get tired of it, you know. So a little bit of this COVID has allowed us to really look at things differently and embrace things differently.
Well, it has helped a lot of people to appreciate CC. There's
Mhm.
so many people who do not appreciate what's going on around them. And you know, of course, money is a factor. We have to live, and I understand that. But you have to look at the good of what's going on around you, and a lot of people don't do that, but you can bet they are now.
Yeah,
I
they're
do
being
many
critical.
readings. I do many readings with people, and I hear a lot. And there is, of course, a lot of pain with family. There is a lot of pain, and it's sad. But so many people that I have talked to know that they have to appreciate,
Mhm.
or that they should. They don't have to, but
Mhm.
they should.
Yeah.
And it's brought them a long way in today's world.
Sure, being grateful for what we have. I tell you what, we've got your wonderful guest waiting for us. So I am going to pop her up here, and
Okay,
uh,
pop her
let me
up.
take this off, and let's bring her right up into the mix of things. And I'm going to take
Oh,
our branding off.
Amy.
So there we go.
It took
Hello,
me a minute to
Amy.
figure it out, so.
Oh, how about that? Okay, everyone, let me tell you who Amy is. She is a good friend and a good photographer. And I am so glad to see you, girl. It's a good thing you understand some things about technology, isn't it?
Took me a minute to figure it out, but you know, it's a really quick learning curve.
I know. Amy, I want you to please tell everybody your name so that I don't pronounce your last name incorrectly.
My name is Amy Chirinos.
There you go. See there? See how easy that was for you? I should repeat it back. Chirinos. There you go.
That's very good. You did really good.
Girl. I am so glad to see you. Thank you. I want you to know, everyone, that Amy is, of course, like I said, a good friend. And not only that, she's also a very good photographer. And I know that for a fact because my face is one that she has taken many pictures of, and it floats all over the place. It's on Instagram, it's in Facebook, and but what's happening is I have changed my hair, so we have to do another picture, Amy. We have to do another picture. But what I want to know is what led you to this profession?
My dad was a photographer. He was an amateur photographer, and I remember seeing him and visiting him back in the 70s and going over to visit him, and he was always in the dark room and always fiddling with his camera and trying to do a lot of unique techniques with film and, you know, playing with the lighting and different things like that. That's where I actually got the bug to, you know, to get into the photography. And then going through school and high school and college, I did it more for a hobby, and it just slowly progressed into a little bit more than that.
Right, like a business, couldn't we say?
Like a business, yes.
Like a business. I believe you are more than a business, but that's good to know about your dad. So now, how do you continue to learn in order to stay on top of photography?
I do belong to a local photography guild, Tampa, and we meet monthly and network, and we do education, and I earn CEUs through them. And then we do go out and do meetups and practice what we learn and different things like that. And I also belong to a local chamber, which helps me in my business aspect.
Oh, that's good to know. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and it's a little bit different. What is the picture that is beside you, please?
Okay, I hope you can see it.
I
It
can
is actually,
move it over more closer to you. There, keep coming, keep.
is
There
that
you
better?
go. Yes.
I
Now
hope
that
you can see it.
I can.
Is that-
What is it?
It is actually the skyline of Tampa, taken from Tampa General Hospital.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How
It is
special.
it's called a small world picture. And it's where I actually put like 6 or 7 pictures together and was able to do that.
Well, I think that's beautiful. Can you pick it up and put it in front of your chest?
Yeah.
And then we can really see it. Oh, all right. There you go. Oh, that's beautiful. I see that. You know what? The round building. I think that round building is the most unique thing ever. That's beautiful.
It's very unique.
And you took what, many pictures to make one picture?
Yeah, I took about 6 or 7 pictures from the hospital and was able to get that.
I think that is just beautiful, Amy. Boy, I'll tell you what, you're getting really good. I mean, you were already good, but now you're really getting good. All right, what equipment do you use?
I do use a Nikon D7000. I'm in the process of buying a new camera and just upgrading my equipment right now. And I use prime lenses that goes with a Nikon.
Oh,
And like I said, we're just looking into upgrading our equipment here soon because of the technology and everything.
okay, so I just want you to explain a little bit more about that, because now say it again.
Nikon. Okay, I shoot in a Nikon.
Okay, that's the camera.
That's
Right?
the camera. Now,
Thank you.
and you have different types of lenses that you can buy for your camera.
Okay.
And each company makes specific lenses to fit their cameras.
Okay.
And then, and those are called prime lenses. So I use, the system I use is totally Nikon, including the lenses. And then you have a couple companies out there that will make the lenses for the different cameras, and they're a little bit cheaper than the prime lenses.
Oh, okay, but the prime lenses would be the best, right?
That normally the prime lenses are the best, and I know some people who have compared the prime lenses to some of the other ones, and each one's just a little bit different. A lot of it depends on what kind of effect you're looking for and the ease of use.
Okay. All right. I heard everything you said, and I'm thinking about it because it's a Nikon camera, and then the lenses that you put into it. I used to love to take pictures, but you're at least 20 steps ahead of me, and you do well. I have to think about what you say, but it's great to know that. So now, what type of photography do you do, and then the trends that you see?
Okay. Right now, what I've been doing a lot of is I do what is called photojournalism. And that's where you tell a story, or you try to tell a story in the photos that you take. A lot of times photojournalism, you might be associate that maybe with the newspapers, the old newspapers, when they did the articles, or Life magazine or Time magazine. A lot of those photos that you see in there are going to be photojournalism. But you have a wide variety of types of photography. You're going to have the fashion, portraits, weddings, just different things like that. Now, in my business, what I been doing a lot lately is going to be headshots and stock photos for people's websites and social media. Because with the virus going on, everything, people are working more from home, and they're having to reinvent themselves, and so they have to update their websites and social media and different things like that. So they had me come in and take headshots, and then different pictures that they might need for their sites.
Okay.
And that's some of the types. Now, some of the trends that are going on, there's now, and a lot of it has to do with the virus, is especially for the hobbyists and some of the professional photographers. They sometimes like to get into doing some things on the side. The big things right now is going to be nature, abstract, normal life. Which, to give you an example, if you go to a disco or to a bar and you see all the fancy, red and blue lights and different things like that, photographers try to capture the light and the mood and different things like that. And so that's what's trending right now.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can imagine that being tricky. I really can, especially with the lights, right?
Yeah, because you have to a lot of times where the trick is you either compensate for the subject or you compensate for the lights. And so you have to find the happy medium and just get a balance with that.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. And this is my question. Amy, when you take pictures of different things, sweetheart, do you ever see orbs, or do you ever see anything weird in your pictures?
I've never really have seen orbs, but there have been times when I'm taking pictures of somebody and I get a strange feeling, as far as, just something that's going on. And a lot of times I've never met these people other than what I talk to over the phone. But when I get there, I just get an uneasy feeling, and sometimes those pictures don't come out. And I even if I go back two or three times to take pictures, to redo it because the headshots didn't come out right, they still just don't come out.
I think
And
that's
it's
Spirit's
interesting.
way. Yes, it's Spirit's way
Yeah.
of talking to you and letting you know not a good thing. So I think that's beautiful though, because I do have pictures with orbs. And when I was teaching my classes, I took my pictures with me just so that I could show them the orbs in my picture. And then we had a gentleman who went home that night and took a picture of the full moon, and he came back the next week and he had orbs in his picture with the full moon. So we thought that was pretty special, since we were just talking about that, in the class. So now, how does technology affect photography?
One of the things that's going on with the cameras nowadays is going to be GPS. A lot of the cameras are having GPS built into it, so when you take a picture, it will save the data in the files as far as exactly where you took the picture at. So when you download the picture, you will be able to get a lot more information other than the picture and the lighting and stuff like that. It will tell you exactly exactly where you were at when you took it, what time you took it, just a whole slew of things. That's one way that technology is starting to affect the cameras. Another thing is a lot of the cameras nowadays can actually hook up to a Wi-Fi. And a number of photographers, what they will do is they will go on a shoot, they would take the pictures and everything, and as they're taking the pictures, it is downloaded to a laptop right next to them.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
So that's one of the things that's going on. Excuse me?
Right. That's technology is really way advanced today, more than we even realize, I feel. Wouldn't you say?
It is in the artificial intelligence, because of all the circuits and the computers inside the camera really are starting to impact, and it's just progressing at a really fast rate. One of the things that affects photographers nowadays is smartphones. The better the smartphone, the better pictures you are able to take, and that really affects photographers, especially the point and shoots. They're forecasting that point and shoot cameras are going to be decreasing as far as the sales over the next couple of years, because smartphones are so much better. If you do have a smartphone, the tip that I will tell you about that is some of the cell phones will save the files in what they call a RAW file. And they will take up all your memory on your on your cell phone, so you can't use your cell phone anymore. So you need to go and check your settings if you have that type of smartphone.
Oh, okay. I do have a smartphone. I do have to think about that, but it does take some beautiful pictures. It really does.
Yes, they do.
So, so I'll have to think about what you just told me. Okay. Does your business offer services to nonprofits?
Yes, we do. My premier nonprofit is Fontes Equestrian Center. They offer horseback riding to special needs children and adults. And so they are my primary nonprofit. But I also have partnered up with Project Pop Drop, and they provide food and clothing and some household needs to different homeless shelters in the area.
Well, that's really
So I
good.
do,
That's good.
so
to
I
know.
do
Okay.
offer services. And so, I mean, if anybody does have a nonprofit, you can always contact me, and we'll work something out as far as with pricing and everything. I will tell you that I do book up fast for the allotted time that I do give for in-kind donation for nonprofits.
Okay. All right. Now tell them how they can get a hold of you. Of course, we have it right here on the screen, but just tell them how they can get a hold of you, Amy. And then I have a couple more questions for you, sweetheart.
Okay. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I was just working on TikTok earlier today, so now I have to figure out how to use that. But I do have an account with all three of those social media. And then you can always email me. I'm easy to find, or just Google my name. And I
Oh,
am here
okay.
locally in Tampa.
Okay. You mentioned TikTok. I know TikTok, but I don't know TikTok. So explain a little bit about TikTok to me, would you please?
Okay, I'm still learning a little about TikTok. Basically, what it is, it's all video, and I think the videos last for like 30 seconds, and it's only just video because right now, video is one of the most popular trending things in social media right now, and it's just something that you can use to help promote your business. I've heard of a lot of people being really successful in advertising their business on TikTok. And so that's one of the things I'm going to be looking into.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is there pros and cons on TikTok? I mean, everything has pros and cons, but is there some pros and cons on that?
There are going to be some pros and cons. A lot of the users that are using TikTok are going to be the younger generation. So, I guess I'm a little bit older, but a lot of business owners are having really success with it as far as promoting their business. And then video is very popular. I mean, it catches our attention. And because most people have short attention span, it works because, like I said, I think it's less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So normally, it's a quick glimpse, so you really need to just time everything and put out some good content.
Oh, okay. Okay. We say a short expand. What did you say? What kind of short? What?
Short attention span.
Yes. I think when you get older, we have that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Do you think? I do.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot. No. It's not allowed. What is one project that you're working on right now?
I do a lot of street photography, and I've done things throughout the years. Back in 2012 was when I really started doing some street photography, and that kind of started when we had the presidential, coming through. We had an RNC convention here in Tampa back in 2012. I've also been to, every time that we would have presidential candidates come to the area, I would go and shoot the presidents. Hopefully hoping to get a shot of the future president. I've also done a number of things recently. I actually worked at the Super Bowl this past week, and
Really?
as a volunteer, and I was able to get some pictures down there. And I've also have done in the last year. I've documented the coronavirus as far as how it's impacted Tampa Bay, the protest, and for almost like a little side project, I've also been working on self-portraits and doing some experimenting with that and different things.
Oh,
So
okay.
those are some of the side projects I've been working on.
Well, you know what? I just got to say one more thing about your picture. Now, what are you going to do with that picture? Are you going to sell it? What are you going to do with it? Because that is really
Actually, I've
special.
already sold a couple of them. And Tampa Bay Lightning was doing art contest here in Tampa Bay, and it actually got an honorable mention a couple years ago. And and it was on display at the Amelia Arena during the Lightning games.
Oh, okay. So then that picture's older, right? Is what we're saying. You took that a couple.
It's about 2 or 3 years old.
Oh, okay. Because I'll tell you what, girl, I think that picture is really special. I really do. So, you know, your imagination is really unique. It really is, the way that you think and how you put things together with your pictures. And I think that's special in its own little way. So, but once more, please tell everybody how that, because we're going to be running out of time soon. Please tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
Okay, you can get a hold of me by the email, which is right there. It's Amy Chirinos photo at yahoo.com. And you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok.
Oh, okay. Now, did I ask you?
And it's all the same thing, Amy Chirinos Photography.
Oh, okay. Did I ask you what project you're working on right now? Did I ask you that question?
Yes, you did.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I just finished up with the Super Bowl. And I'm going to be posting pictures up on social media here in the next week.
See what happens when you get older? You forget.
Well, Janet, I really appreciate you having me come.
I know, girl. I thought it was a good idea. You know, everybody really does need to know a little bit about everything. And, you know, even though I'm into my spiritual, photography can be very, very spiritual also. And I mean, you know, when I went to England, I took many pictures over there, and I really have an extreme amount of orbs in all those pictures. A lot of them. And in one of my pictures, I took a picture of the castle in Rochester. I actually have a big purple orb. And I mean, it is just beautiful. So, so photography is very, very important. And I'm really glad that you came tonight. Thank you, even though you had a little bit of problems getting in. But see, once more, you learned something, didn't you? Wouldn't you say? Yes, no?
Well, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, girl, you just take good care of yourself, okay? And I'm going to call you to have my picture taken.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Now we got to wait for Cece to come.
Okay, ladies.
All right, girl. We did good.
So I wanted to ask Amy. Amy, do you do profile pictures?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me? Do you do like profile pictures? Like if people want their profile pictures done?
Yeah, the biggest component of my business right now is headshots, profiles.
Okay. Yeah, because you know what? A lot of people are doing the online dating now, and that is so vital to have good pictures without their fish.
I've actually have done a couple headshots for online dating.
Yeah, so maybe put together a package and we'll share it with those online, and you know, you'll have to be in the Tampa Bay area, I guess, for you to be able to do the pictures. But yeah,
she takes beautiful head pictures, girl. She really does. So
Mm-hmm.
do you do filters? Can you make me look younger?
Yes, I actually yes, I can make you look younger. I try to keep the pictures when I edit the pictures, when I polish the pictures. I try to make it look as natural as I can, but yeah, I can make you look good.
Well, you know the one of me, CC, that you have. She took that picture.
Yeah.
Yes, and you don't see too many wrinkles.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a true profile picture is one that doesn't look like us.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, you know, a lot of it is not necessarily the way we look. It's the quality of the picture. And so going to a professional and having a picture done properly, where you're in the proper lighting, you know, posing correctly, can make a world of difference.
Yes, it can. And that's one thing good about Amy. When she took my shot of my face, we did it over at Carrollwood when I was in the apartments for that year. We had the lake behind us, or the pond behind us and everything, and we had a big tree behind me. So it was a beautiful setting. So now when she goes to do it again, I have the same thing here. I have a tree and I have the water. So it'll all work out well.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to definitely do that. I love that picture that you made there. I put that on our promo for the station because I thought it was so unique.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, so I thought tonight would be good on following your passion, because to be an artist like you are, Amy, and to be able to express that and show that, it's tremendous. You know, it's probably a tremendous feeling for you to be able to express yourself and still love what you do, you know, enjoy what you do. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. So, all right, girls.
Okay,
Well,
so
thank
we're ready
you.
to close out the show. Amy, do you have anything else that you want to add before we close out the show?
No, thank you. It was my pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You're a delightful guest. Thank you.
I enjoyed it, Amy. Thank you. I'll be calling you. Look out.
Thanks.
Okay, everyone, you guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We're the #1 talk singles network, and we hope that you all will listen to our shows, which are fantastic. As we have Janet M. Reynolds right here tonight, and she is with Insight with Blue Feather. Blue Feather is her guide, and you guys can reach her even offline. So when we close out the show, you're welcome to contact her for a reading. Her phone number is 813-814-1601. Her website is www.bluefeather.net. And you can give her a call and she can do a reading, and she can do it right over the phone or on Zoom or whatever that you're comfortable with. Again, we want to make sure that we share Amy's information. Her email is Amy, A-M-Y, and her last name is spelled Chirino and S, and then Photo, PHOTO @yahoo.com. So you can give her a quick email, let her know that maybe you're interested in getting that profile pictures done for your dating site. Or, you know, if you just want a family picture, which is pretty awesome to be able to have that, because, you know, memories, it's nice to be able to have a good quality picture to have. So I want to thank you guys for joining us here tonight. Of course, Janet's show is a bi-weekly show, so she will be back here, not next week, but the week after. And
Yes,
so
it
I
will.
hope that, and I know you've already got a guest lined up, so
I
that's
do.
great. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that for sure.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Amy.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Love
Good
you,
night.
CC. Bye.